Hello, 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 and welcome to Peyton's Flowers. Today is an exciting day. We are doing our first seed starting of 2024. So I'm just going to show you on the calendar here where we're getting these dates from and show you what we're doing. It's just going to be a quick little video. This is the way that I do it, not necessarily the right way, but this is the way that we found the best for us and our crazy schedule last year. So we're going to do it this way again this year. So today we are at March 16th. So most of these seeds that I've chosen, I looked through all my seed packs and looked for the furthest date, the longest period of time that the seeds need to be kept indoors before your last frost date. So all of these are 6 to 8 or 8 to 10 weeks. So I'm going to say an average of 8 weeks for everything, and then all of these seeds are going into our hoop house, which is going to be sheltered, and on really harsh frost nights it'll have frost cloth and maybe some heat in there as well, so they will be protected for an extra 4 weeks. So we're going to say these are getting started 14 weeks before last frost. So today's the 16th of March. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, 7, 8, 9, 10 weeks. So 10 weeks would be what is recommended for them to be planted. So then they're going to be planted out in the hoop house May 25th, somewhere around this May 25th, depending on our schedule. Again, they all say 8 to 10 weeks, so anywhere between really the 16th and the 25th. If those could get planted out into the hoop house, that would be great, because then we still have another 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks to the 22nd of June, which is what I would consider my last frost date here in central Newfoundland. Last year, our last frost was July the 3rd, but that's really pushing it. It's not usually that late, and even if it is, it's only one frost night usually, and we can just drape some frost cloth over top of that and protect it that way. The plants will be nice and hardy by that time anyway. So what I've done is these cute little trays. You can buy them at the dollar store, and they're the ones with the seed plugs that you dehydrated and you add water to them, and then they have that film around them. I don't use those because I find they're horrible. They don't disintegrate the way they say they're going to disintegrate. So I just pitch those, and I just have a regular seed starting mix in here from Canadian Tire, and all I'm going to do is take my seeds and sprinkle them over the top and put them on the heat mat, and then they'll germinate in here, and then I can break them apart and put them in individually seed plugs. All right, so this first one here is Ageratum. Ageratum was great for us last year. We only had one variety, Tall Blue Planet, we had last year, but this year we have a timeless mix. I'm not sure what it looks like, but oh my goodness, look how tiny those seeds are. That's not even all of them. Teeny tiny tiny. So I'm going to try to get those as even as possible over the top of this. And it says there is 250 seeds here. So I'm probably never going to need 250 of those plants. However, that's not true, because last year this was one of our best fillers, and we said we were going to have a full bed this year, and our beds hold about 400 plants. So this could be a half a bed, and then the Tall Blue Planet would be the second half of the bed. As you can see, we've already went ahead and labeled, so we don't get anything mixed up. We know exactly what is in each one. So that is the timeless mix. Here is the Tall Blue Planet. So these are some seeds left from last year. Oh my goodness. So this is even a bigger pack. So I don't even think I should use all of these. However, seeds do lose their germination rate year after year. So these are last year's seeds. So I will put a little bit more just to make sure I get enough germination in there. I really, really love this Ageratum. It's a fantastic filler, and it grows so well here for me. Last year we had a horrible growing season. We had rain, 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 cold temperatures, very little sunlight. And this is one of the plants that still did fantastically well. That's my phone. The only person that ever calls me is my mom, so it has to be my mom. Alex, can you just turn that off, please?
You got it.
I'll call you back, Mom. There we go. That's Tall Blue Planets. And I still have enough for next year and a whole other pack of 500 seeds. So we're good. Next year, I don't need to order that one. All right, that's 2. I'm going to move along. Dusty Miller. Dusty Miller is a fantastic plant for us. We didn't get it to grow so well last year. But the year before, we grew it very, very well. These are pelleted seeds. Pelleted seeds come in this vial, and pelleted basically means they have a candy coating, for lack of a better term. It's like an M&M. They put a coating over the seed, so it's basically easier to use. However, pelleting a seed shortens its shelf life, so they can't be used so much year after year. I would give them 2 years maximum, and then it's not even worth your time, really. How many do I have here? Oh, a lot. So I don't think I should start all of these. But again, this is Dusty Miller. It's only used in the fall. It takes a long time to mature. And then in the fall, it can take a late frost. It can even get snowed on. At one point, it got snowed on, and it was still fantastic. We used it way into the fall. It's a beautiful fall flower and needs a lot of time, though. It's going to germinate. One of the first things we're going to germinate, and one of the last things we're going to harvest. So I have 2 versions of Dusty Miller. That one is the new look Dusty Miller. All my seeds are from Johnny's, by the way, this year. Or all of today's seeds, I should say. I do have other seeds that aren't from Johnny's, but... All right, so these aren't pelleted. So now you can see the difference in the size. So basically they're the same seed, except for this one has a candy coating and this one don't. So we're just going to do the same thing. Sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's a lot of Dusty Miller. Maybe we'll have to sell some of these here at the shop because I'm not going to need that many, that's for sure. All right, I'll turn them the right way now, Jeffrey. There you go. All right, Dianthus or Sweet William, another one of the things that grew fantastic for us last year, and we only had a half a dozen plants. This year, I want to have a full bed, 400 plants. These are pelleted as well. I have 250 of this color, which is bicolor, purple and white. And then I have 250 of the red. So we're going to plant all of these 500 plants. And these are pelleted as well. So it's better to use them all because they won't be as viable next year. So I find this way easier than planting one seed at a time in different seed trays. I like to germinate them this way, and then everything that germinates can get easily separated and put into your plug trays. That's 250 of the bicolor. And this is 250 of the red. So the one thing about doing it this method is you really have no choice but do this other steps when it's necessary to do it. So you can't leave this in here for too long because the roots will get too tangled, and when you try to pull them apart, you will no doubt damage the plant, and it will be damaged for the rest of the season. You want your plants to be as healthy as possible right from the beginning all the way to harvest. So the less damage that you can do to them, the better. So once they are germinated and they have their first set of true leaves, that's the time to get those separated and into your plug tray, so then they don't need to be disturbed at all any other time until they're put out in the ground. All right, these lovely trays, I couldn't find any more. And of course, as always, when you go to the dollar store, they never have what you want, but you still spend $80. So they didn't have any more, so I had to buy these, and I've just made little dividers here. So I'm going to put 3 different things in these larger trays. So over here I have Scabiosa, Fama White, and Fama Deep Blue. We planted this last year. It did very well for us. And it is a, I don't know what the right word is for it, but it's supposed to be a perennial in zones 3 to 7, but it's a tender perennial, which means not every plant is going to come back. Only some of them are going to come back. So we had probably about a quarter of a bed planted last year. There's not very many in there. I thought there was more. And the rest of the bed was planted with annuals. So this year we're just going to fill out that entire bed, and hopefully the ones from last year will come back, and we'll have some really mature plants and then some fresh new plants this year. So that is, did I do that right? Yes, I did. The Fama White, that's the white. No. That was the Fama Blue. That's the Fama Blue. So I've done something wrong. All right, I gotta fix this before I go any further. So I'm gonna switch these little dividers. That's the Fama Blue, right? Because the Fama White still has, yes, that's the Fama Blue, right here, the empty pack. This will be the Fama White. And in the front, I have something totally different. Yes, all right, we're good. So these are seeds from last year. So there's not too many of them here. I could have probably planted these seeds directly into cell plugs. I didn't realize these seeds were as big as this, but it'll still work and be fine. I don't have seed plug trays here today. They're still at home in the grow room. We are at the shop. We've decided to take care of some of the little babies here at the shop this year because frankly, we're here much more this time of year, and we can take better care of them. We have more people here. The staff can check on them so they never dry out. And the lighting system, oh my goodness. Okay, this is Strawflower. Strawflower did fantastic for us last year. We had about a 20-foot bed. So this year we're going to have a full 50 by 5 foot bed. So 5 feet wide, 50 feet long, full of Strawflower. And this is the Saltaine mix. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Who knows? Anyway, they're little beautiful seeds. They look beautiful. So we're just going to sprinkle those on there, nice and heavy. And that will give us lots and lots of Strawflower. That what I've just spread on, that little bit of soil. By the way, your soil in these don't need to be very deep at all because your root is only going to get about 1 inch deep. That's all you need before you separate them. So there you go. That whole tray is done now. Okay, Madam Butterfly. So these are just a few seeds left over from last year because I did both last year, seed starting and plugs. And the plugs did a little bit better than the seed starting. So I think I had 200 plugs last year. This year I ordered 1,000 plugs of Snapdragons. So I really don't need any others, but I did have a few Madam Butterflies, and I don't have Madam Butterfly plugs coming. The only plugs I could get were Rocket Mix, which was great for us last year. So if we can get a few Madam Butterflies, that'd be cute. There we go. Those are in there. All right, Status, one of our absolute favorites. I know I keep saying that, but they're all my favorites, really. I love them all. I love them all. Status grew for us so well. We did 3 successions last year, which was really unnecessary because basically it's a cut and come again. So the more you cut it, the more it's going to grow. It grew outside, not under plastic. It did wonderful. We are growing 2 versions this year. I'm going to say blue, but I'm not sure until I turn this over. So Seeker Blue is the one we grew last year, and we grew silver. I found I didn't use the silver very much, so I'm not going to do that one this year. We are doing instead, this one that I'm sprinkling right now is rose shades. So what I've seen from all the other growers on YouTube is rose shades is not as prolific as the blue, meaning it doesn't produce as many stems, but they are beautiful and they work really well in bouquets and arrangements. They kind of blend and match into everything. So we want a lot of that this year. So I'm going to make sure there's lots here. And again, there's a lot of seeds going in here. So timing is important here. We cannot let these roots get too big and tangled, or they will get damaged. So here's the Seeker Blue now. Oh my God, Seeker Blue is so beautiful. So beautiful. We're going to have a 50-foot bed of this as well, plus maybe another small bed, maybe a 20-foot bed as well. Because this starts blooming pretty early for us, like July, mid-July probably, which is, I know that's late for a lot of you, but for us here in central Newfoundland, that's early. So mid-July, and it will go right through to frost. And then you can't have too much, because anything that's left in the garden, you can cut and dry, and they work beautiful for dried flowers as well. All right, so I'm just gonna quickly look at these seed packs and see which ones need to be covered. Direct seeding, not recommended, hard, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and we're going to stop it here. I'm going to look back over the seed packs and see which ones need a sprinkle of vermiculite, and then I'll come back to you when we have them on the heat mat, ready to go for you. So here we are, all done. They're on the heat mat. I've just got the lights on so you can actually see. We won't be turning the lights on until germination has occurred. But here they all are with their domes. Some got a little bit of vermiculite, some didn't, depending on what the seed pack recommended. Some just said do not cover the seeds as they need light to help germinate. So even though that's a little contradictory, because they need light, but they don't really need the grow lights. They just need atmosphere lights and not underneath the soil. Thank you very much for tuning in. We will certainly keep you updated on all the progress with seed starting here at Peyton's Flowers. And we are so looking forward to this season. We are going to have lots and lots, an abundance of flowers. We will be selling at markets this year and other places, lots of hand-tied market bouquets. So keep tuning in to Peyton's Flowers. There's so much going on here. As you've seen in our last videos, the fabric section is growing and growing. The quilters keep coming and we love every second of it. And when it comes to the flower shop itself, always remember, flowers are one of the most important gifts that you can ever give. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.